We appreciate the presence of Honorable Mutakane in the subcommittee and Honorable Pondani. It's now 11 o'clock. Greetings, honorable members. Greetings to committee support staff, those that are here at M46, as well as those honorable members that are on a virtual platform, given that there was a change of venue this morning, which then allowed a possibility of a hybrid. You are now welcomed, as we also greet fellow South Africans who are following the deliberations of this subcommittee. So there's a subcommittee of the Committee on Communications and Digital Technologies that focuses on the appointment process for ICASA, the filling of the vacancy. So as we welcome you, we are of course convened today as the subcommittee to look at deliberations, having shortlisted the candidates and interviewed them, and therefore post the deliberations, make the recommendation to the committee, which will then make the final recommendations to the House. Of course, as would usually do, would then give an opportunity for members as represented by different political parties in the subcommittee in line with the multi-party system. Of course, give them an opportunity to present, get to an engagement. And from the committee point of view, we've always stressed the point that we look at persuading each other in the deliberations. So we do not put the numbers as a starting point, because that has been cleared by the electorate in 2019 elections, hence there's proportional representation. So this then helps to listen to all the voices in that score. So the numbers are usually the last resort. But with this committee, so far, we have been able to look at South Africans every time they present themselves before the committee, so that we get the best we can and present to South Africans to lead in the entities in this portfolio. Therefore, I would, as you know, we have one vacancy, and in line with the law, the ICASA Act, members would be aware that for every vacancy, it's 1.5. And because we're dealing with human beings, it then, in this case, takes us to 2 names that would put for consideration for appointment in that score. With that having been said, I'm sure if the parties are ready, honorable members will give me an indication that you do want to present and motivate your names, and then we move to another to present and motivate the names until we are done with the engagement. I see you and Honorable Mlala from the NC.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Yeah, from our point of view, we're recommending 2 names as per the legislation. We did not move beyond that. The first name is that of Mutivi Glenview Ramusi. And I think Mutivi has been part of the team that first reconstructed the transformed ICT sector since 1994. So he has been there since then, really established what we call public entities and their legislation. So I don't need to go into each and every area where he participated, but I think he can simply be referred as a founding member of the transformed ICT sector in South Africa. And he has been in that industry since then to date. I can go on and explain from where to where. And he's got vast experience. I think, in my view, if it wasn't of the private industry, it should have long been in ICASA. Actually, the first inception of ICASA, it should have been the chair then, because he's the person who really established ICASA itself. And maybe the second name, let me not go deeper into Mr. Mutivi. Is well known in the industry. I think everybody knows him, his experience and so on. And maybe briefly talk to the second name of Professor Surenda. What we really appreciate in the prof, more than the qualification, was his creativity. In the presentations he made in the committee, he's a well-researched person. He has been referring us to models in various countries in the world. And for us, that was very impressive. He may not have the same experience as Mutivi, but he can take the industry to another level. And we felt with this brilliant mind of research, because the bulk of his presentation was researched work. So we felt we needed that element in ICASA. And hence we then recommended the two names. Thanks, Jim. In summary.
Thank you, Honorable Mlala. May I just check if Honorable Mazzone, you are still able to hear us clearly?
Chairperson, I hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. Proceed to make your presentation.
Thank you very much, sir. Chairperson, the DA ranked the top three, and our ranking is number one, Mr. Dimitri Martinez. Number two is Mr. Ramusi Motivi. And number three was Mr. Nkosama Mbokane. Chair, as a motivation, if I may, when one looked at the themes that we were given for ICASA, we found that Mr. Martinez had extensive knowledge in terms of especially problem areas that our department faces, such as the SABC, having actually written his Masters of Arts. His research topic was State Broadcaster to Public Broadcaster, a case study of the SABC News from 1994 to 1996. We found that he interviewed exceptionally well. He had a deep understanding of what the role of ICASA was, what the problems facing ICASA were. And he also, in fact, in our opinion, was one of the only people who gave possible solutions to the problems that ICASA faced. Chairperson, then Mr. Ramusi, undoubtedly incredibly well suited as well for the position. Had many expertise that would assist the ICASA entity. And what we were impressed with was his knowledge of policy formation in the ITC area and space. We did, however, notice that he listed professional lobby structures which he'd worked for, and that was our only bit of slight concern. And then chairperson, our third choice, Mr. Mbokane, we felt that he was extremely enthusiastic, had excellent qualifications in terms of his business experience, also had a national diploma in ICT, and had sat as a chief executive officer in areas that would certainly be valuable to ICASA, because he was the chief information officer as well in two of his endeavors. He was also regional manager of ICT in another area, as well as ITC project manager. And so the list continued. And Chair, those were the three the DA ranked. So once again, in accordance of ranking, Mr. Dimitri Martinez, followed by Mr. Ramusi Motibi, and then Mr. Nkosana Mbokane. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Mazone. And I'll go to the Honorable Machozi.
Thank you, Chair. Mine would be, as I stated before, I don't think I will repeat that. I only attended on the first day, and but seemingly we are thinking alike with my fellow colleagues. Mine, I was taken, Chair, by Mr. Ramusi Motibi. His CV, spoke for itself, the experience as well, and all the ideas and how to overcome the challenges of ICASA, and also how when he comes in now that he was part of maybe the installation, and it gives him that advantage to say he would obviously know more about ICASA than anyone else. But yes, on my list, I had him first as Mr. Ramusi Motibi. And number two, I had Mr. Smith. I think he presented himself very well. And with any other candidate, he brought...
unless it's me here.
Can you still hear me?
The number two, you were saying Mr., but we didn't hear.
Oh, Mr. Martinez. I think for me, Chairperson, yes.
We heard you to be saying Mr. Martinez.
Ramusi, yes. Number one is Mr. Ramusi Motibi. Number two is Mr. Martinez.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
We didn't hear the name. Proceed, Honorable Machozi. Yeah.
Yes, I think Mr. Martinez, for me, took it, Chairperson, when he was presenting in terms of how the ICASA should regulate and what is expected of it. And so he seemed to know more of ICASA. That is why then I had to rank him number two. Obviously, I wouldn't take you through the CV and experience and so forth, because that is what they had presented. So he really brought that interest in terms of ICASA and making sure that how then can ICASA sustain itself and also be able to regulate. and also the litigations that are there. I mean, he went through all those, and I was very happy with Mr. Martinez. So those are the two names, Ramusi Mutibi, number 1, and Mr. Martinez, number 2. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Machosi, because we have done both presentation of names and motivation at a go. I'll then ask the committee support to flight. As you'd see, honorable members, we have the name of Mr. Ramsi as the common name in across, and then we have between the IFP and the Democratic Alliance a common name there of Mr. Martinez. Of course, then for Prof. Takur and Mr. Mbokan that they put up, we are really far apart on that one. Of course, that's the time to persuade the majority party to score that at least there is a name agreed from all parties, and that there's also compelling argument put on why the other name would appear on both sides. So would really want to take it to yourselves, because anyway, all the candidates really presented themselves, so to speak. Honorable Mlala, do you want to speak?
No, I'm persuaded, Chair.
So if
I'm persuaded that the second name
Martinez.
is not Martinez. The one that we propose of Prof. Surrender. But I'm persuaded that the Ramusi's name is common across the board, and Dimitrios Martinez would be the second best.
Okay. So Honorable Mlala is persuaded. So I take it that at least there is unity again on this question from a point of consensus, that we have got the two names, that of Motibi, Mr. Motibi Ramusi, and Mr. Dimitrios Martinez as the second name. So that will be the recommendation of the subcommittee to the committee. And I take it that that's agreed. And the committee support will then prepare the report for the committee along those lines. I will, without waste of further time, get to the minutes of this subcommittee for formal adoption, as would be flighted by the committee support. Can we have that flighted? We now start on the 15th of September, which was about the roadmap and all that, the short listing of candidates. And I then get formally a mover and seconder for adoption of minutes. The Honorable Mtembu, you are recognized.
Good morning, Chair. Thank you. I move adoption of the minutes. Thank you.
Honorable Mtembo moves for adoption. Can I get a seconder? Honorable Kumbu.
Yeah.
Honorable Kumbu seconds. Any objection in us adopting minutes? No objection. The minutes are agreed to. Then move to the next set. We now look at the minutes on the day of the interviews, the 5th of October. And can we get a formal mover for adoption and the seconder?
I move, Chair.
Honorable Mlala moves. Can I get a seconder?
I second, Chairperson. I'm not sure whether my name is there.
I saw you. I saw your name.
Yeah. No, I didn't see
I
it.
saw
It
it.
moved very fast.
So it moved very fast. No, I saw it, Chair. So Honorable Macho's seconds, and I guess there's no objection in the adoption of the minutes. So you should have been strategic and ask that we get back there just to check if it's properly noted. So you have been assured it's there now. Thank you. All right. So the minutes are agreed to. That then, honorable members, concludes the part of the subcommittee as we allow the committee support to consolidate the reports for presentation in the next meeting, which is the meeting of the committee, where the subcommittees would be reporting to. Is it 12? Yes. So the meeting is at 12, so would allow them the committee support in between to work out the consolidated report. The meeting stays adjourned. Thank you.